Welcome back. This is The Traveling Golfer. By the way, you can go to travelinggolfer.net and all kinds of great videos, lots of great stories in the blog. If you love golf and you love to travel and the marriage of the two excites you, well, you've come to the right place. I'm Mike. There's The Traveling Golfer right there. Claudio DeMarchi's on the other side of the glass.
He is. He's like safe.
Yeah, you like that?
He's safe, and now he's pretty.
You know what? I almost don't mind this. There's something, I don't know, kind of fun about having a screen between us.
I know, but you didn't notice that because I have my St. Louis Cardinals hat on, but I got a haircut.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't tell. You did get a haircut. So did I. You didn't mention that.
You're right.
I think you're just trying to be kind by not mentioning that in my case.
No, you look great.
As I look up at the screen behind you, I see the Tiger King, and I see a slight resemblance. The mustache, the cool haircut. Wait, do you have a mullet? Nope, he brought it right in. It looks classic.
And I went to the dentist. This has been the most exciting week in a long, long time.
You're going to need a nap later on. Plus, you did the show today. It's too much, man.
I
Look
know,
at your schedule.
But I'm excited because where we're going today.
All right, where are we going today?
We are going to what has been labeled for the longest time America's next great golf destination. And I'm going to tell you, I've been there twice now, and with the addition of the first ever Tiger Woods public golf course, Payne's Valley, we are going to Branson, Missouri.
Nice.
And Big Cedar Lodge.
All right.
It's a special place, and the destination has arrived.
Okay, we will take you to Branson in just a couple of minutes. I will recommend to you subscribe to the podcast, and it's available on the YouTube as well. You've got your very own channel there, and then I call it the YouTube. Somewhere my kids just shuddered, thinking, "Oh my dad, don't call it that," and it's not the Twitter either. But you are available on the Twitter and on social media. Where can people find you? I follow you on Instagram.
Instagram, Traveling Golfer 23. I think that's the most popular.
Why is it 23? Is that because 5 years ago you set it up when you were 23?
Kirk's going to like this. We haven't even introduced Kirk yet, but 23, one, it's my birthday, and two, a St. Louis Cardinal catcher, I think, Ted Simmons, wore number 23.
All-time greatest hitter and fielder.
Sorry, what was that?
All-time greatest hitter and fielder for the Cardinals catching crew.
Listen to you. I didn't know you were such a Cardinals fan.
When do you think I'm wearing a hat?
Why are we messing around? Let's welcome Kirk to the studio, shall we?
Let's do that. We have Kirk Elmquist, who has a 2006 Cardinals World Series ring, if I didn't mention that already.
Look, it just filled the entire screen.
Vice President
Oh, wow.
of Sports Development with Explore Branson.
Very nice to have you with us. Thanks for joining us, Kirk.
My pleasure, fellas. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun there today. I wish you'd deliver me some nice Canadian Pinot.
Yeah, well, listen, coming up later in the show, thanks for the segue. I love a guest with a segue.
I've done radio for years.
There you go. As we get on in the show, as always, we'll visit the wine cellar, and today we're talking Pinots, $25 and up. So some more upper scale Pinots today.
Upper scale, you got it, man.
All right.
That's it.
Meanwhile, let's go to Branson, where I know one thing for sure. Yakov Smirnoff really made a name for himself all over again. Am I wrong about that?
No, that's pretty accurate. He came here as a comedian and created a variety show for visitors, and he's something else. You talk about a talented individual, but yeah, we have live shows and live entertainment up and down many veins of roads here in our community, and it's a little mini Nashville, a little mini Vegas type of thing, and you can do about real fine dining, or we got one of the best hamburgers you'll ever eat in the world. We got it all here. It's kind of fun.
Like Branson really is. It's on my list.
It should be,
because of all of the stuff that they've made huge efforts there to put cool things. You like to golf, that's great. You like to go to a show, that's great. You like to eat, you like to drink. It is a really fun town to go to, and they've built it that way.
I think it would be. Is it not labeled as the live entertainment capital of North America? Or
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good one. We're going to go ahead and put your name underneath that. That's a good one. But
Good
yeah, that's
stuff,
very
Claudio.
accurate.
I
They
think
have,
I think I
there's
stole
over
that from somewhere, but
Yep, there's 100 shows up and down, for all kinds of variety. From you got the Chinese acrobats, you've got the country music flair, you have the song and dance, you have the families, you've got good old Southern rock. I mean, you got some new Van Halen type stuff, type music.
yeah, country.
Yeah, you can get about whatever you want in there. A little bluegrass, a little gospel. And then you got the most wonderful roller coasters in the state, right out there at Silver Dollar City.
Silver Dollar City,
And
yeah.
Yes.
it's their 60th year, the Jubilee year, and they just opened this past weekend, and they're opening a brand new river raft water ride, which is just has an 80-foot plunge and drop, and you and your boat. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, we're gonna do it or what?
I think we should.
All
I
right.
think we have to.
All right, let's put that on our bucket list. Here we go.
Yeah. But
Now, also, if you're going to start putting stuff on your bucket list, the reason we're here today is because and since the day I have met you, you have raved about your experience with golf in Branson, Missouri. And so I'm delighted that we have this put together, Kirk, because it really has been a constant theme, hasn't it?
I love this place from the minute I arrived. And I have to say, I arrived in Springfield where I hooked up with the team, Yvonne, from that works with Kirk. And we started at Johnny Morris's Wonders of Wildlife, which anybody who makes the trip to Branson has to make this stop in Springfield. It is the most amazing. When I was told I was going there, I said, you know, I probably don't need to go to something like that for more than an hour and a half. And 3.5, 4 hours later, they had to drag me out.
Wow.
And I've been there a few more times, and I could spend a whole day there. It's just the most amazing. And I think USA Today has recognized it as the top attraction of the year. With COVID, I can't remember if it was last year or this year, but
Right.
It was last year. You're right. It's 2019.
it is totally amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
It's amazing. And it's part of the Johnny Morris complex, which Johnny Morris owns Bass Pro Shop, which I just went to today because I need new fly stuff. And he also owns and built Big Cedar, which is where the great, there's 5 of them, golf courses are.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, let's do a deep dive, if you don't mind, on the golf courses. Where are we starting?
Well, where do you think, Kirk? My favorite personally is the Buffalo Ridge Springs.
Well, that's where you should start because that was the first one, and Tom Fazio designed. Johnny purchased it in 2013 and reopened it in 2014, and it was so fun. I was in the truck with him, driving with him, and on the golf cart when it all transacted. And he reframed many greens. He put in bridges, uncovered some unbelievable caves that were hidden with rocks and dirt. He's like a cave whisperer, and he created these Amish-style bridges, water features, brought in new tree lines, completely repurposed it in certain areas. And the greatest thing about all of it, guys, is Fazio endorsed every one of it, every move, and loved it. But Buffalo Ridge is a phenomenal. Every tee is elevated. It's 7,200 yards. We played the PGA Tour champions on that when I was tournament director for Bass Pro Shops Legends of Golf the past 6 years. So that was the big course to those guys. And that was really our first foray into golf. But he had built the par 3 Top of the Rock, which Claudio loves as well. We could touch on that one next.
I think both of the Top of the Rock and Mountaintop are the 2 shorter courses. Predominantly par 3s, if I recall. It was a couple of years ago since I've been there. Walking.
I enjoy that,
but
I enjoy a walking par 3 if it's an amusing, track. I think it can be a great way to spend a morning. To be honest with you,
it's a 2,000 yard, 2,300 yards from the tips, par 3 golf course, 9 holes. It was the first golf course the PGA Tour ever recognized in championship tournament play as a par 3 course.
Oh wow.
We played it twice, and we reset the holes when the groups came through for the second 9. played skins games on there with Kid Rock, Mark Wahlberg, Justin Timberlake, Paige Spiranek, Willie from Duck Dynasty, and Larry the Cable Guy, and I could go on and on. The celebrities, Roger Clemens from baseball, and the Kansas City Chiefs owner after they won the year before he won the Super Bowl. So we've had the celebrities on it like you can't believe. But Jack Nicklaus' signature design, built it in '86, and then closed it down for approximately 10, maybe 7 to 10 years. I can't remember the total number. And brought rocks in that aren't rocks, brought in boulders that look like they came out of Utah and out of the Arizona desert, and created this wraparound intimate feeling. And it TVs so well as a par 3 golf course. It has an island green, and we would put the players on a tracker pontoon boat and travel them across to the green after they hit their tee shot.
Yeah, that does work nice for TV. That is amusing for the viewers.
Yeah, it TV'd well for sure. But Top of the Rock sits out over top of Table Rock Lake. There's a wedding chapel there. There's one of the more fine dine kind restaurants. There's a sinkhole that hit in 2015 there. And there's also a cave trail tour, a self-guided golf cart, 2.5 mile tour through the canyon. It's something for everybody. And then there's a 40,000 square foot American Indian Heritage Museum and one of the top collections in the world. The Smithsonian Institute has been here to verify, and the 7 Indian chiefs in Oklahoma have also had dinner here to verify, to see what Johnny is doing and how he preserved the Lost Trail of Tears after the Civil War, when all the American Indians were sent to Oklahoma that went right through this area. But the Arrowhead collection and the Sitting Bull's jacket, the one he was killed in, you can't do it all in one day. It's quite a spectacle.
That sounds amazing.
And it's really amazing because think about these beautifully manicured golf courses, white sand, and you're overlooking the Ozark Mountains. And it's always sunny because it's a golf course and it never rains or gets cloudy over golf courses. It's spectacular.
That's
setting.
a phenomenon. Yeah, no.
Except when you have a PGA Tour tournament, that's when it rains.
Of course, yeah. that's of course nobody talks about Murphy's Law.
Well, can't we delete that part?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's going to happen, and it's how you react to it. But that does sound like a really fun outing. So let's say that you're just in the area and not the... Let's say that there's something for you, and now there's something for me. Because to be honest with you, to golf a little bit within my control without worrying too much about the game, and then heading into this historical kind of... I love that you've got a golf trail tour there, and a museum. To me, that's a huge amount of fun.
Wait, we have something else for you, Mike. And I think, Kirk, you'll agree with me here because we have the most spectacular driving range. So, and I'm going to tell you why I said that is because we finished playing Ozark National last year, or whenever I was there, and we were going up for lunch to Mountaintop. And as we were driving by, we had seen the driving range for the second time. And even though we didn't need to play more golf, everyone in the group said, I'm not leaving here without hitting some balls at that driving range.
Really?
It's the waterfalls. And,
what?
Yeah, the lake. I think there's a lake on the left.
On the right. You're exactly right. The lake on the left is now at the bottom of the sinkhole.
Okay.
There's a sinkhole that's had over 150,000 loads of dirt taken out of that looks like monuments from Utah. And I would encourage you to go to the Big Cedar Lodge website and look at it. But Arnold Palmer and Johnny Morris designed a driving range, and it's all synthetic. Even the traps are synthetic white, all undulated. The entire it was 16 targets before the sinkhole. It's narrowed down to probably half of that by now, because the sinkhole is now turned into this cave experience, which will attach to the Cave Trail Tour coming off of the Lost Canyon. So you've got this experience, and it's lit up at night, and you can hit balls off the turf or off the grass, all the time. It's a great experience. You can go to have dinner, watch the cannon go off at the sunset, and go out and hit balls after dinner under the lights with a bucket of suds. It's a phenomenal thing.
That's fun.
Suds. Well, what are suds? Are suds? Are those like bud suds?
Some Budweisers from Missouri, and then the other, which you guys would love. I was actually out there one night with a couple of friends in Kid Rock drinking some Pinot, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Well,
Kid Rock seems like a good time. He likes to golf, and so does Wahlberg. You see them on the course every chance they get. You know, it's that's a lot of fun. All right, now where else are we golfing there that you'd recommend?
well, the two other courses we haven't touched on are Ozark National, which is a Crenshaw design, which was open last year, and it's excellent.
Yep.
And then it's now either open or it's in soft opening is Payne's Valley, which is the Tiger Woods public course, which I have only seen pictures. Kirk, have you played?
I have. The Mountaintop, Ozarks National, and Payne's Valley and Buffalo Ridge all four of those are in the same area. So the Mountaintop golf course is a Gary Player design, 13-hole par 3 course, all walking. At Top of the Rock, the one we just described, you can take a cart. But the par 3 is very environmentally conscientious. It was built with these very stringent rules to be Audubon Society rated. And it's a 13-hole experience at the top of a mountain, and every hole is on the top of a mountain top, which is phenomenal. And the putting green at the end on 13 really promotes more holes in one. So they undulated the cup to be into a valley, and it's very, very, very good experience.
Nice. I could use a second hole in one.
Yeah, who doesn't want more of those, right? So
you've got
this
one
was
of those?
built,
Oh, boy.
and he put that in top of an amazing rock fixture with Gary Player's expertise with it. So you've got Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player. We also have a putting course right next to it designed by Tom Watson, which is phenomenal. It has a Himalayan approach like they use at St. Andrews, the original putting course over at St. Andrews. It resembles that a little bit, and Tom Watson designed it with Johnny Morris. Then as we move out to the east a bit, you're looking at the Ozarks National course designed by Coor and Crenshaw. It was their 29th project that they built on this planet, and they're on to their 30th project now, and maybe 31. But it is currently the reigning 2019 course of the year in the United States, and new course, and it plays at 7,200 yards. The Missouri Am is being played on it right now. It's very natural, very, very environmentally conscientious, less water use, very natural layout, very minimalist as they went into the earth. And we have this experience out there over this bridge that Johnny had the music Bridge Over Troubled Waters playing. And as people first started playing it, now they got these mid houses where they can have a snack and that kind of thing, where it's an experience where you're going to see a turkey and a deer typically every time you play out there.
Wow.
And there's a beautiful, beautiful experience when you watch Ben Crenshaw hit the opening tee shot, and then Johnny's grandnephew hit the next tee shot. So it's built for children, very wide fairways, but it was also very challenging for John Daly and our players that played on the PGA Tour Champions. So that kind of rounded out the last 18. And then the new 18 that is being built is being designed by Tiger Woods. So as you look at our designers in this market, you got Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson, Gary Player, Tom Fazio, Ben Crenshaw with Bill Coor, and now you bring in Tiger Woods' first public golf course right here in the same vicinity. The address is Hollister, Missouri, which is just south of Branson, just north of Ridgedale, where Big Cedar Lodge is. So it sits all in the same county, very easy to get to, 7 miles from Big Cedar Lodge and Top of the Rock, and just 5 miles from Branson. And it's right near the airport. You can see the airport from this golf course. This golf course will be probably one of the most expensive golf courses you'll ever play in your life.
Right.
The amount of earth that had to be moved, the rock that had to be blasted, the width of these fairways, and we played it last week, and I'm playing it again coming up here in July. If you lose a ball out there, there's a fishing pole at the end of 18 for you to pick up. But you can lose a ball, but I'm going to tell you, it's very forgiving. And there's a lot of areas where the kids can run the ball up. Tiger learned that way in Los Angeles, and he described this to encourage more children to play golf, where they don't have to fly it in, which is so big in the 90s. You got to bring the ball in over the top of the bunker. There's so many greens here where you can roll the ball up, and Johnny agreed. And then one thing that they've added, and Claudio, I can't wait to do this with you when I see you, certainly, hopefully before 2023, but also in 2021, as you get here, he's putting in a 19th hole. And this 19th hole will be like no other hole in golf in the world. And there's places where you hit a 1,000-yard shot off the top of a mountain and, that kind of thing. Once you play this 19th hole and settle a bet with your buddy or your son or whatever you do, it's not a gambling situation. It's hit a golf ball 100 yards into this cave where a green is, and then I'll just kind of leave it from there because it's not open. 13 holes are open. The other 5-6 holes that he's finishing will open later this fall, and they'll cut the ribbon on this in September. But Tiger Woods will be here, and it'll be an experience like no other.
Wow.
That sounds incredible.
Well, I've already predicted, I think in the last piece that I wrote on Branson, maybe an issue or two ago, that the next, the 2020 golf course of the year is going to be in the same place as this year's.
We're sure hoping so. Crossing our fingers.
It sounds like you've made every effort to make it a destination where, and I do love the notion that, a lot of golf courses are bucket list vacation tours. This actually could be a family vacation in a lot of ways because the golf courses are set up for the kids that are learning to golf. I could see my nephews and my kids at a young age being very interested in hitting a ball into a cave. I would hope there, if it was my kids, there would be a bear in there to greet them, but that's neither here nor there. But it sounds to me like you've made every effort in Branson to make it an experience for everybody to go and enjoy themselves.
Well, when you look at tourism, two of the top things people look for is the lake or the water opportunity, and golf is number 2 or 1. I don't know. Just depends on the survey you look at. And then the third thing typically is roller coasters. And then you get into shopping and dining and live entertainment. Branson, Missouri, population of 10,500, has all of this, all in the same market. You can drive here. I think half the population of the United States is within 500 miles of here. But as the airport picks up, you can fly into the Branson airport. You can fly into the Springfield airport 12 months out of the year, 7 days a week. And it's just a 45-mile drive south to get to where you want to get to. And then what's cool about like the way Claudio did it, land in Springfield, go through Bass Pro Shop's Granddaddy store where Johnny started it all in 1972. Go to that wonderful Wonders of Wildlife where Kevin Costner emceed the event, and Jimmy Carter was here, George Bush was here, and you had all these celebrities sitting here and all these titans of the conservation industry, and then jump in the car and head south and get the feel of Ozark mountain country as you drive down into the valley of Branson in this area and engage where the roller coasters are clear out to the west, and then golf clear over to the east. And then we have 5 other golf courses which can be played as well that are not part of Big Cedar Lodge. And those 2 you will never be disappointed in, or those 5 you'd never be disappointed in. They also bring a tremendous golf experience in the Ozark Mountains.
Yes, I think Branson Hills was probably one of the first that, and I think that's a great one in town. But the one that I would label spectacular there, and maybe a hidden secret or hidden gem, is the Ledgestone course. I think that one. I just spoke at a Rotary Club meeting, and the Ledgestone general manager was there, and I gave him a little pop during my speech, and he was just thrilled at the amount of golfers that they've had, coming back in, or during the pandemic. Bobby Clampett designed the Branson Hills golf course. It used to be called the Payne Stewart course, but that relationship ended. But he designed it of 18 holes of Payne's favorite holes of championships that he had won. And there's a albatross hole where he got his 2 on that par 5, and the history of Payne Stewart's golf, has a lot to do with that. But Branson Hills is that golf course. Ledgestone is further to the west of the city, and then you've got Holiday Hills and Point Royale, and I mean, you got an offer from a $35 rate all the way through a $200+ rate, across the board in the golf here in this area. And what's neat about it, Mike, more than anything, like what you were saying, if you don't want to hit the ball as much as Claudio and I do, you can go to Ballparks of America. You can go to a roller coaster. You can go to our shopping. We've got Nike outlets. We've got all the big time outlets, Ralph Lauren. And then you could go see an evening show with your family, and that way you don't become or create golf widows and golf frustration. Yeah. Everybody has a good experience with fine dining all the way down to just grab a hot dog on the strip somewhere, or a hamburger, or a street taco, or whatever you're up to.
When driving to your destination is kind of top of mind for the first time in so long in our history, this is going to be a big deal. This is going to be the place that America remembers they went to have fun before they went back to flying anywhere else in the world to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I didn't tell you that Payne Stewart was my hero. I have never had anybody replace The man.
Yeah.
Do you have you met his sisters?
I have not. Should I?
Claudio, when you come in, remind me of your passion for Payne, and I'll put it in my notes. I'll introduce you to his sisters.
Oh, I probably have 10 pictures of Payne. I have some wearing the same USA outfit that he used to wear.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I was, man.
Well, the story for you, the year he passed, I was with the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame and running the TD Waterhouse Championship in Kansas City, and also the Price Cutter Charity Championship. I was Associate Executive Director, and Payne passed that year. And I was a part, my boss and I raised $150,000 to erect a statue of Payne outside the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. And you must see that the next time you land.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that would be an awesome connection for you.
Absolutely, for sure. That'd
Very
be awesome.
cool. Anything before we go? Any parting notes? Because I got to tell you, as soon as the border opens up, and my wife and I have been talking about this, we're going to do a road trip just for a change of scenery. And I think that this would be a lot of fun because she may even be a better golfer than I am. But we don't want to dedicate our whole trip to the greens. So this sounds like a really great destination.
Well, just for you,
Yeah.
they've built a couple of really nice Hilton properties right downtown.
Right.
So this would give people who don't, because Big Cedar is out a little bit out of town.
Yeah.
And if you're not golfing, you'd probably be, better off to stay in town. And I've stayed at both of these properties, and you've got a promenade right outside your door, so you've got bars and restaurants, and you can walk into the old part of Branson, which has all kinds of neat stuff to buy if you like buying neat stuff.
Right.
And you're close to all the shows. And shows.
Okay.
And shows. There are so many shows. I mean, then we didn't even talk about the Titanic. I mean, isn't that a cool? I mean, who would have thought?
Saw Mary Kellogg, her husband John Jocelyn, was the second man to see the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean, and he has the film footage, and it's in the museum here. And James Cameron and all those wonderful people that created that wonderful movie. Well, there's a replica of the Titanic in Branson, Missouri, right on the strip. They have authentic things that have come up from the bottom of the ocean and cleaned up, and you get a full Titanic experience. The kids will love it. You stick your hand in the cold water. They have a cold pool of how cold the water was. When you walk in, you get a card, and you are one of the guests on the ship. And some of them make it and some of them don't. It gives you the description of their life.
Wow.
Mary Kellogg was in our building today. She's one of our ambassadors for our Chamber of Commerce. It's like no other place you'll ever go to. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Branson's really got it going on, man. This is and it's niche, cool stuff that you won't find in other places.
Did you go to the Navy Pier in Chicago ever?
I haven't.
I don't believe I have.
Are you familiar with that scene of their what's it called? The you get on it and it's a
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
Thank you very much.
You
The
have a
Ferris wheel-
dandy. You have a dandy one, and there's a neat little. What is it? An ice cream parlor.
That Ferris wheel was on the Navy Pier in Chicago, and this group bought it, dismantled it, and trucked it to Branson, Missouri.
Wow.
And erected it right next to the Titanic and Andy's Frozen Custard.
That's it. Andy's Frozen Custard. That
World
is so
famous
cool.
experience.
Yes.
The Navy Pier Ferris wheel is here.
That's crazy. This is so cool. I can't wait to go to Branson.
It's like a kid in a candy shop.
Well, we're going to look you up. We need to go everywhere when we get there. Okay, Kirk?
I'll be your guide.
I appreciate that.
And we'll be driving to be safe, and we're going to stop in St. Louis for a few days first.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
just
and
trying to get tickets to the game.
Well-
Hold on. You have to wait a season, I think.
You know what? Tickets to the game. This is funny. I went the first time I went a day before. I had tickets that were left for me by the good folks in Branson, the first visit. And I decided to go a day early. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to the game anyways. I went to see if I could get a seat somewhere decent. And right behind home plate, second level, $65 whole dollars.
Wow.
That would be like $1,000 in Toronto.
In Toronto, you couldn't do that. If
Yep.
it was a hockey game,
Forget it.
10,000. Yeah, it's not even available.
Forget it.
Well, listen, thanks so much for joining us. Before you go, where can people kind of zone in and start to plan their trip to Branson?
Your best bet is to go to the Branson, explore Branson.com. You can go to our Twitter page. It's explorebranson.com, and all the tags at Explore Branson will get you the details. But if you really want to dig into the Chamber of Commerce site, go to the bransonchamber.com, and you'll be able to go through the businesses that are associated with us. And you can certainly Google any of the Branson golf, and it'll come right up. But Explore Branson is your hook to get you the information you need.
Well, Kirk, thanks so much for being with us today, man.
You resemble Joe Buck's voice. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but if I close my eyes, I feel like Joe Buck is talking to me.
If you ever need an announcer that might even resemble Joe Buck, you call me first, okay? We can make some contra arrangement. I want to go to Branson.
You know, I now that you mentioned that, I agree.
Oh,
yeah. Well, Claudio, close your eyes and look at him and have him call a play. You won't believe it.
Then I won't want me to open. I won't want to open my eyes after that.
You know what? I'm looking through the screen. All I can say is 2 balls on the batter. Thanks so much again, man, and we will hope to catch up with you soon. If you don't mind, we'd like to make a regular of it.
Please do so. And Claudio, I can't thank you enough for your ambassadorship and your unofficial mayoral status that you have here in Branson. Thank you, my friend.
Wow, I'm impressed,
That's
man.
nice.
I'm honored.
I'm going to hang with you, Claudio.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, catch you next time, Kirk.
Thanks a lot, fellas.
Thanks, Kirk.
I think that you could get the key to Branson.
I'd like the key to Branson.
That would look really nice on your wall with your Payne Stewart pictures. And
yeah. You know, when from the first time I went there, I was going like, "This is an amazing place, and I want to keep going back." And
you have said that since we started talking about doing this show.
if it wasn't for COVID, I would have been there.
You did say that as well.
April 9th.
Well, soon enough. We'll get you back there, I promise. All right, let's do this. Let's head into the wine cellar because as we do every show, our good friend Claudio, not just a curator of great golf experiences, but also a little bit knowledgeable in the wine world. And this week we're talking about Pinot Noirs. Not just your cheap old Pinot Noirs, but some more upper crust.
You're right, and I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah.
By the way.
All right.
So
we'll set you up.
Yes, I love Pinot Noir, and you know what? It's probably the most popular wine in the
I
world.
think it is.
So I've read, anyways, and they wouldn't lie to me. So
No, I
yeah,
can't. They wouldn't lie to you.
And we are gonna go to some of the better quality Pinot Noirs, but I have to admit, I read something just a week or so ago about a $10 Canadian Pinot Noir, and I had to try it, and it was actually quite good.
Which one was that?
Canyon Road.
Okay.
It's recommended in the Toronto Star.
Oh, all right.
So had to try it. But one of my favorites, all-time favorites, and not only in Pinot, but in almost anything they produce, is Rodney Strong. And Pinot Noirs out of the Russian River Valley in California, which is the one that I'm going to highly recommend. Very intense, and a lot of the better quality Pinots are, and they're got a little of that plummy, cherry, dark, they're nice and dark when they come out of it. So that's exactly what it is. It's called the Rodney Strong Estate Russian River Valley. It's $25. A little spicy, full-bodied, smooth.
What did you, were you just drinking it or did you dine with it?
I always dine.
What were you eating with it? Oh, wait, I want to guess. Fish.
You're probably right on that.
Well,
it was a nice barbecued trout.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I can actually see barbecue and Pinot going in almost any regard of meat or vegetable off the barbecue because it's got that already smoky kind of decarbed flavor to it.
Yes, and if let's say you open any Pinot and you don't really like it at first, or let's say there's something that you might want to change a little bit, put it in your refrigerator for 10 minutes.
My wife will tell you that Pinots should be served slightly chilled to the room.
Well, I agree. I agree to the sense that I like to do it both ways because then I can decide which way I like it better.
Well, you experience the range of flavor between one and the other, between the hot and not hot, but room temperature and slightly chilled.
And it also varies from season to season. So in the middle of the winter, I may prefer not to have it chilled, whereas in the summer, if you're sitting out on the back in the deck, you might want to chill it a little bit.
All right. Any other wines you want to put on the list for this week?
Well, of course.
All
you
right.
told me I had to go a little, higher level.
I said, let's go up 3 tiers if we can.
And then, so there's a different region. The Northwest USA is another favorite region of mine.
Okay.
And it's become a favorite since my trip to Oregon a few years ago when we had our IACTO convention out there. Started to sample a few, and I've been sampling more. And so my pick for that area is a really fancy looking bottle, Solina Grand Cuvée out of the Willamette Valley in Oregon.
All right.
And this one
Oregon
here,
wine.
maybe not as full-bodied as the Rodney, but I would call it sleek and silky.
I wonder if maybe that's because of the region that it's grown in that's maybe a little more arid and less acidity to the soil because it doesn't have as much condensation.
I think you're bang on with that.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, I'm a scientist. Did I mention that?
No, I learned something new every time I come here.
Last time I think I said I was a dentist, and now look at you. You've had to go to a real dentist.
I did. I did.
Okay, give us one more.
Anyway, so the next one. Okay, so the Solina kind of just flows over your tongue into a nice little finish. Mm-hmm. The next one lands on your tongue, and you know that
it's there.
Ooh, man, have I got something in my mouth that is just beyond, compare. If you want to impress someone, this is the Pinot you bring. First of all, it's in a nice, sleek bottle. The top of it is covered with red wax that is poured down. So,
it's got an impressive reveal to the guest or to your host, I suppose.
Yes, it's in the, again, Canadian dollars. It's $60.
Okay, it's still not a crazy expensive wine for a good wine.
No, and you may not drink this every day, but you're gonna, when you do have it, it could be a special occasion or whatever. But yeah, this one is full-bodied, very buttery smooth. It's everything that you would want in a wine.
Right. Excellent. Okay, well, there we are in the wine. Oh, sorry, was there another one?
We didn't mention the name.
Oh, sorry. What was it called?
Silly.
I got caught up in what it was. What is it called?
This is a California wine out of Santa Barbara area.
Yeah.
Belle Gloss.
Belle Gloss. How do you spell this?
BELLEGOL, only one S.
GLO1S. Gotcha. All right. Sorry, I didn't even think about the name. I got caught up in what it was tasting like.
Me too. I could feel it landing on my tongue, and
really
then I forgot.
I'm like, okay, now I feel like a slab of beef as well. Can we arrange that? Oh, some Bernays. Oh, wow. We should put a food segment in here now.
You know what? I've had this. So there's a really fancy Japanese restaurant called Sushi Kaji, not far from here. Mm-hmm. And you can bring your own wine.
Yes.
And I've gone there a couple of times with a special friend, and we've had this wine there. It's so good that even Mr. Kaji has come and had a sip.
Oh, very nice.
With us. We usually sit at the sushi bar, and he's an entertainer. He's a great guy. We usually end up with a second bottle, and he usually samples one, both.
Oh, so that's nice. It's nice to have the guy who runs the restaurant sit with you, and you're enjoying a good wine when they're like, yeah, no, I'll take a minute out.
Yes.
I'd enjoy some of this with you.
And his presentation is beyond belief, and it's not just sushi. It's the whole 9 yards.
I hope that we get some sushi now for this plug.
Flies his tuna in every day.
What?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
But let's go for some right after the show. Is he open yet? Are things open for him yet?
I could probably call him and we could sneak in the back door.
Okay, let's not abuse our power. All right. Do me a favor, subscribe to the show and tell a friend about it. You'll find it at travelinggolfer.net. The travelinggolfer.net, by the way, is an amazing place. It's a great resource if you're thinking about where to plan your next trip, especially if you're trying to hit the road to do it, because I know, Claudia, you've put a real focus on that right away as COVID hit. Okay, when we get back, where can we go? and what will people be able to do just in the car. So I would recommend going and checking out that website. Of course, the YouTube channel has all kinds of great videos from all over the world, and of course this podcast,
including one on a dinner at Sushi Kaji.
Oh, okay. So if you, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. TravelingGolfer.net.
.net.
And the same on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend about the show. And thank you so much to everybody. Oh, congratulations. I should share this with you. As we do this show, and it's early days for us, you hit the 10,000 listen mark. Congratulations.
Whoa.
So if you're one of those people that's stuck with us while we iron out the kinks in this here podcast of ours, thanks so much. We promise we'll keep the guests coming and the destinations will be at your doorstep soon.
We're rocking because of you. You're like the mayor of podcasts.
Okay, so we got the mayor of Branson. We could start the mayor's podcast in Branson. Well, let's just think about it. We'll talk about it in our next meeting.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.